Hey, yo, what's up, guys? My name is Mr. Neptune, and welcome back to another video. The last time I made a video was about 2 months ago, and when I started making videos, we were at basically no subscribers, and now we're almost at 100 subscribers. So I do say thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. I didn't think I would get this far, let alone this far, this quick. So I do thank everybody who did subscribe, and if you are seeing the channel now, please subscribe. I mean, it'll mean the world to me to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. This is a video by Shape My Beauty. So let's just get into it.
He tenido incidentes de que me he sentido muy cómoda cuando la gente me mira. Yo le digo la enfermedad silenciosa, ¿sí? Porque ella va destruyendo sin darnos cuenta. Por tener una deformación en mi rostro no me hace tan diferente como los demás. Creo que es algo más de lo que vemos. Mi nombre es Lady, tengo 29 años de edad. Yo nací normal, nací con un soplo en el corazón. Al nacer, me tuvieron que operar, hacer una cirugía. La cirugía fue un éxito total, pero me aplicaron mucho corticoides y a raíz de eso fue que me empezó la enfermedad, que me dañaron la glándula de la calcitonía.
So from first glance, you can see it's a young woman. I think she's from South America, from the dialect from what I hear. So from what she said is she had a birth deficiency, or she had a disease at birth, and then they basically had to do surgery on her. But then the doctors basically used too much steroids, which basically restarted this new disease that she has. From what I see is that obviously it's very difficult for a young woman to grow up like this, and I think for most people who have disabilities, growing up with it is better than getting it at a later stage in life, because you live two parts of one life, basically, from an able-bodied person to a person with disability. So I think growing up with a disability is difficult, but I think in her case it's more difficult because it's such a physical disformity to the point of where it affected her face at first, and then it went to her body. So I think that it did actually really affect her very hard. And I do think that obviously she's learned to accept it. I mean, she's 29. So I do think that obviously she's learned to accept everything that happened to her. But also looking at her, I think she has a lot of self-confidence because she wears a lot of makeup. So yeah.
Que tengo más calcio de la cintura para arriba que de la cintura para abajo.
At just 3 years old, Lady was diagnosed with a rare bone disorder called fibrous dysplasia. It causes scar-like tissue to form in place of normal bones.
Yo le digo la enfermedad silenciosa, ¿sí? Porque ella va destruyendo sin darnos cuenta. Hay tiempos que se paran, a veces me sigue aumentando, entonces de pronto me ha deformado más por dentro que no sé.
El señor me dijo, su hija tiene una enfermedad que no la tiene casi nadie en el mundo.
As well as being told how rare her condition was, doctors also told Lady's mother she was likely to lose her ability to walk.
Su hija no tiene cura, su hija no va a durar más de 12 años. Entonces, claro, ahí pues el impacto es muy grande, nosotros, y en ese momento uno siente como que se hace muy pequeño. Entonces vivimos con esa zozobra constante, por eso fue como la consentida siempre.
But Lady proved the doctors wrong, and despite all the health implications arising from her condition, she's still able to walk today.
Well, I mean, from looking at it, I think the parents obviously had to face the most brunt of the disease, because they had to obviously go through the medical procedures and all of that. So looking at it from their point of view is they are extremely scared of her health because of what the doctor said when she was born. I mean, the doctors told her that she wouldn't make it past 12. I think that's very difficult for most parents to take in, especially at such a important stage in a child's life. And I mean, for her to go past the age of 12 to almost 30 years old, it's a I mean, it's a test of time in its own. So I think for them to say that they have this constant shadow looming over them over health does actually dictate what's actually bothering them as parents. I think they actually gave her the best life. They're also able to provide for her, and she is able-bodied. But I do think giving her tasks and activities to do does give her a sense of normalcy in life, and I do think that looking at how she moves and how she actually is still able-bodied and able to walk, and I do think that she has a sense of independence in her own right, even at this age that she is, even by trying to help other parents where she can with her disability.
However, it's been the enlarged shape of her face that's been the hardest thing she's had to come to terms with.
Cuando estoy alrededor de... No, cuando estoy con gente alrededor, obviamente es muy notable de que la gente me mire, y más cuando se sorprenden o algo así, porque pues no es normal. Es como que se sorprende, como que wow. He tenido incidentes de que me he sentido muy cómoda cuando la gente me mira. El proceso de la aceptación ha sido algo largo. Yo me acepto tal cual soy, pero siempre he tenido mis complejidades.
A big part of Lady's self-confidence journey has come from posting on social media, thanks in particular to one friend.
Hola Lady,
Hola.
¿qué más? ¿Cómo
Bien.
está? ¿Bien?
Él comenzó como a motivarme, decirme, Lady, mira, tú eres una berraca, porque no inicias a hacer videos, mira que te puede ir bien. Cuando él me dice todo lo que mira, no sé qué, y yo tenía también muchísimo miedo, eran las críticas de lo que me iban a decir, porque pues obviamente digamos que uno no está preparado para enfrentarse al mundo, y más en esa manera.
Y ya estaba en silla de ruedas y la historia de ella, incluso subimos un video a las redes sociales en la página de ella, en el perfil de ella, y eso fue el boom de la ciudad de Neiva Huila, porque eso todo el mundo comenzó a compartirlo, a comentar, comentarios de varias partes del mundo, gente diciéndole que mujer tan bella, que mucha la historia.
A ver cómo me va, realmente me ha ido bien, se puede decir, porque he tenido muchos seguidores, pero también he vivido la parte del bullying. En eso sí, las críticas me han dado muy duro.
But it was when she began posting on TikTok during the pandemic that Lady really developed a strong following.
Pues realmente lo hago con el propósito de inspirarle a la gente que hay gente que tiene muchos complejos. Entonces, no importa la condición, no importa de cómo estemos, hay que seguir con la vida, ¿no? Entonces hay que mostrarnos al mundo, y gracias a eso pues.
Well, looking at it, she obviously said that she has a lot of self-confidence, and I think having the help of a friend, a social media manager, or let's say, I think having that person in a corner really helped her with a lot of self-confidence. I mean, for many people, and even including myself, I think it's very difficult to put yourself out there on the internet. And I think for somebody with such a physical or facial disability like her, to put herself on something like Instagram and share a full story and put it out to the world, I mean, honestly, I have to take off my hat for her, because I think for many people who are normal, it's very difficult for us to put ourselves out there on the internet, and for her to put herself fully out there and actually try and attempt to create a social media and have a following, actually put out content and actually build a fan base off of it. I think that's actually really inspiring. I think we can all learn from a self-determination to overlook her own looks, and also she can be a role model for many young women in her age range. I do think that looking at her, she does help a lot of people build some self-confidence, because I mean, having a disease and living this long can give anybody a sense of determination beyond their own years, and also applying that to their own lives. So I do think having the social media, having the influence and sharing a story does help many people with a very inspirational message for many people.
He podido inspirar a muchas personas. Por tener una deformación en mi rostro no me hace tan diferente como los demás. Demostrarme a mí misma de que sí puedo, creo que es algo más de lo que vemos. Cuando yo me veo en el espejo, veo una persona luchadora, guerrera, echada para adelante, con sueños.
Well, that's the video. My thoughts on it overall is that it's a pretty good video. I think looking at it, it speaks to a lot of people's self confidence, especially when it comes to their looks. I think a lot of young women and a lot of women can relate to her because looking at it, a large portion of a woman's value in life does to some degree, like a minuscule degree, rely on her looks. And for her to have such a facial deformity at such a young age and growing up with it and going on for so long with it and learning to accept herself as she is really does stand the test, or does actually show the testament of her strength as an individual. I think that looking at her, she is an inspiration for many people, and I think that going further, she will probably live a health or a happy life, and I think she will probably try and live a healthier life. But guys, until next time, I'm out.